It's a sample for modern Portuguese architecture, but derives from architects like Álvaro Siza and Eduardo Soto de Moura. We found the project interesting because it combines regional themes together with the modern language of architecture.
We find ourselves in Alcácer do Sal in Portugal. On this desert terrain, architects Francisco and Manuel Aires Mateus have erected an unusual residence for the elderly. What looks like a modern sculpture from the outside, elegantly integrated into the surrounding landscape, actually functions as a hybrid of hotel and private residence on the inside.
The idea is that the building is a wall that contains this park and works with the typography. It comes from 0 on the highest point of the land to 3 levels at the end. And this idea is really to design a building working with the landscape and to involve this park.
Outside space is indeed an important element of the construction. It is accessible from everywhere and lends the open structure of the architecture fascinating plays of light within the long stretches of the building's interior. As the architects skillfully play with light and shadow, inner and outer space, the architecture becomes a living sculpture.
The core of the building, it's this corridor, which is the void space through which you circulate. And then you get always views to both sides of the building. And then again, because the building has 3 floors, but they are connected with the slope, let's say, of the landscape outside, you also can use these corridors to go from the inside to the outside in every levels of the building. The problem in this kind of buildings is that, in a way, they remain between an hotel and an hospital. So really there are a lot of aspects which you cannot avoid, like handrails, protection for the doors and stainless steel for the corners. Even the bathrooms have to have a special design for the movements of the wheelchairs and things like this. So we did try to avoid the general idea of luxury and look more into things like spatial quality, different lights coming into the building, talking about an atmosphere that would move along the day.
An atmosphere created not only by the precise cuts between light and shadow, but also by the building material itself, one which is invisible at first glance: brick. The clearly defined cubes were realized by filling the weight-bearing concrete structure with clay blocks. This type of white-plastered brick architecture has a long tradition in this area of Portugal. Both the architectural form and the brick itself keep the building's interior cool, even in the scorching summer heat.
Apart from the thermal question in which the bricks have an important role, I would say that the bricks are very easy to work with. I mean, you can move a brick wall several meters, even though all the bricks are connected. You can increase its dimension, you can cut it, you can open it, you can use all kinds of dimensions with brick, and it's very easy to work with. Though you don't see the brick, it's very important on this building, because if you look into the building, there are a lot of angles that are not connected. You don't have columns on the facades, because these volumes, a lot of times, they don't touch each other. That is to say that all the structure, in order also to be thermically protected and all this, all the structure is kind of hanged. So in a way, there was this first stage of the building in which the concrete was already finished, and it was a very strange skeleton. So the first time I really understood the building was when the bricks wrapped the concrete structure.